Hi, my friends. It is day 6 of Macy and I out here in the woods in remotes off the grid. Today's we're taking it easy today. We've been in such a rush to get moved out of the apartment in Mesquite, Texas, to get on the road. We drove a 19-hour drive in 26 hours, 26 and a half hours. That was with obviously some stops for me to catch catnaps. Over the last 5 days, I have endeavored to set up the tent there, and a couple days ago, Miss Smith and our boy got together and sent some money through paypal.me/Donald J. Claxton and helped pay for $60 of that $99 big mansion tent. It supposedly will sleep 10, but I wouldn't try to put 10 people in there, maybe 10 kids. It's an Ozark trail, and I'm not knocking it at all. It is huge inside, cavernous. But what I've done is I've divided it into 3 sections. One for a closet, if you will. I have tubs of clothes rolled in waterproof containers. And so I've got those I'm putting in there. Some of the other stuff I'm about to pull out of the car and put in there as well. I'm in the process, for those Canadians listening, watching, I'm in the process of building me a desk, and I just spent about 20-30 minutes with this piece of wood here. And what I think I'm going to do is use it and make it as some cross pieces, and then I'm going to fashion some legs together and build a frame for a desktop. And then I'm probably going to have to, I don't have the Alaskan sawmill get up nor the tracking deal that they sell on Amazon for doing my own milling as of yet. So I'm probably just going to go into Lowe's and get some 8-inch wide or 10-inch wide by 6-foot or 8-foot boards, fashion myself a desk, and that's going to go in the middle section of the tent, and it's going to face toward the north, which is that way. And from there I will start. I've got my Smith Corona Silent, which if you watch the California typewriter movie from a couple of years ago, you'll understand that of the 250 typewriters that Tom Hanks owns, that's his favorite. And I can see why. I really enjoy the Corona Silent typewriter. I also have with me my Royal Companion. It's circa 1947, 1948, an excellent typewriter. I love it, absolutely love it. And I'm going to do some writing on there. I've come to the woods of Upper Michigan because I started a novel about 5-6 years ago now. And it's called the Voodoo Hill Explorer Club. And it deals with 4 boys on the Air Force Base where I grew up. And in the summer of 1977, they decide they're going to build a treehouse out in the woods. And what they don't realize until, well, they realize it early, but they don't know what it is. There's a Soviet spy who's also out in those woods who sneaks in. There was a big hole in the fence back there behind the officers' quarters that you could get in, and if you looked okay, you could just kind of pop into base housing. And with a little walk, you could get over to the alert area and take account of all the B-52s that were sitting there, what they were armed with, what kind of rockets and bombs and stuff they had hanging from the pylons. how many were on alert, and things like that could get you shot if you were there trying to get in, or in big trouble if you were seen trying to take photographs. And I even knew Bobby Taylor once, who was in the Strategic Air Command. And a shout out to Bobby if you're watching. Bobby's job was to go around to SAC bases and infiltrate them and see if he could get caught or get in to places no one should be able to get into without the security police catching him. So there were some near misses where he almost got shot by friendly fire for trying to do his job. How'd you like that one? And he'd go crawling around in there and in the grasses and the remote areas around the big fenced in areas, and try to sneak in and see if he could break through the security. And if he did, then somebody was really in trouble. But imagine that was a job, to see if you could penetrate our alert forces and bombers and get through to them without getting caught. So I am writing this story about the 4 boys, and they're growing up here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan in these amazing woods. And I'm just going to turn around and give you a view. This is about 25 miles from where they live, but I guarantee you lived. But where they live in the story is very much like this. But there are trails for bike riding, and there are ways to ride right through a gate or a hole in the fence at the back of the base and go off into the woods. But there were woods on base too. But they go deep into the woods, and they wind up next to, very close, probably 200-300 yards away from the secret hideaway of a Soviet spy that they don't find for real until it's too late. Or is it? So I'm out here. Today, Macy and I made our first breakfast. It was not perfect, but it sure was good. I made bacon with this cast iron pan my daughter Haley Ann gave me for Christmas. And I put all of a pack of thick bacon into the thing at one time. You don't do that. I wound up taking them out, putting them in a side pan, and then putting them back into the frying pan 3 or 4 at a time, and that worked out pretty well. When I got them done, I put 5 eggs in to make fried eggs, and they started bubbling up with black and gooey. It did not look like it was going to taste good, so I drained that out of the pan and then stuck with the eggs were kind of at that point. So what I did was I just added some water and 2 slices of American cheese, and we had the artery clogging type of scrambled eggs. And I put some in Macy's bowl with some bacon, and I put some grape jam on a slice of bread, piled on a little bit of eggs and some bacon, and folded it in half, and it was delicious. So right today I've had this fire going in front of me, and I'm going to turn around and show it to you. I've been burning since about 8 o'clock this morning. I've been going through and trying to find stuff, leaves too, to burn, just to get rid of some of this. There's so much fire danger out here right now with all this all these dead leaves on the ground. So I'm trying to get rid of that. And meanwhile, I've started carving what's probably going to be a support beam crosswise for a desk to go into the tent. And then I'm going to make some legs for it and do some sawing. And once I get that fashioned together, I will probably go back into town sometime later once the fire is down a little bit. to ashes, and I can step away for a little bit because it's nicely protected from spreading, and get those 2 pieces for a desktop and hopefully get something done today, if not tomorrow. And that's okay, no hurry. I bought this solar panel deal yesterday from Harbor Freight, and it's worked pretty well. It charged my iPhone this morning from 50% all the way up to 95 in about an hour and a half, and that worked pretty well. And so I keep moving it around because now I've got my iPad hooked up to it as well, and so you can hear the iPad click on when it does. I bought this Swiss Tech piece from Walmart the other day, and if I open this and look, well, it's not telling me anything right now, but if I turn it on, even when having been sitting in the sun all day, well, it's not doing anything. I think this is going back to Walmart. Last it showed me was that it was charged to 61%. My iPad's underneath there, trying to get the juice from this thing. They say to put this at an angle, plus 15 at my latitude, and let it sit in the sun, and it's charging up the iPad. So I'm going to look in a little while and see how well it did. But the company who made it is Thunderbolt Magnum Solar. It's a 9-watt charger, and knock on wood, so far it's doing a pretty darn good job. Like I said, it took maybe an hour and a half, and it boosted the iPhone charge pretty well. And hey, I'm using it now to record this video. My day 4 video that I've posted up on YouTube is still processing for you Canadians. And I'm getting kind of ticked about that, but I mean, it was 32 minutes long, so I'm at 12:52 right now, so I'm not going to go much longer. I just wanted to give you a look that I have been doing some raking to try to get us to where the paths are pretty clear, and the walkways are pretty clear, and that makes it easier to move about, not trip over things with my back problems. I think for now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the car down and be able to turn around into this spot, as opposed to going that way where the tent now is. That colossal huge tent that Mrs. Smith and Mr. R. Boy helped us get. Need to get my axe up off the ground. Yeah, and I bought 2 things of firewood from some place along the road on the way out here last night for $5 a bin, and I'm about out of them. But that has helped get through the morning. See, I've already got my tubs in here, a couple of them. I've got a chair in there. That's where I'm going to put my desk. And then over on the other side, I've got my bedding and a 20-degree, good 420-degree sleeping bag. I also bought that lantern last night, but we didn't even turn it on because we got into the bed soon enough. And you can see Macy's keeping guard here, and quite comfortable, and having a good time, enjoying that she's not in the leaves. And I think also not having the leaves down on the ground like they were when we first got here and pulled off to the side. That is helping with the mosquitoes, not to mention all of the smoke. I found some creative places to keep my gear dry and out of the way and off the ground. I've got my shovel and level and the weed whacker and an extension for the, I don't know where the heck it was supposed to go on this tent, but we spent our first 3 nights in this thing, both of us, and my head would touch here and my feet would touch on the other side, and people were saying, my dad in particular saying, well, if you're touching it and you get wet or it rains on it, it's going to get wet inside. And I told him, yeah, I saw that episode of Leave It to Beaver, where Eddie Haskell said, it's not going to do anything. And so Beaver went ahead and touched the tent wall, and of course, it came a flood inside. But anyway, we're doing well. I've got some great fruit hanging there. These are potatoes, and I've got some bananas and strawberries and some apples that I've been eating instead of eating junk food during the day. And I'm drinking tons of water, and got a huge bag of just plastics. Anything in that bag is plastic. And it's just amazing, like I say in the other video, how much plastic we use for just about darn everything. So anyway, this is going to do it for day 6. Day 6's video. And I'm glad you're watching. Please subscribe. I was able to get into Buffalo Wild Wings last night and be able to put up a post on medium.com. You can find it there on medium.com / the @ Donald J. Claxton. That'll get you to my stories on Medium. And if you would, there's a way to sign up to be a monthly subscriber for $5. And that entitles you to read all of my stuff and anybody else who is on Medium. And I get a small percentage of that as a reoccurring income. So that helps me be able to stay out here and be able to afford to get water and the things that I haven't been able to provide or find at will on the land. And that also helps support my writing and the writing of millions of other people on Medium. The more you read our materials, the longer the technology keeps track of how long it takes you to read a story, the more I get paid for that story. But I don't get paid a thing if you're not a member of Medium. So there's the two-way benefit. I get half of your monthly subscription, $2.01. So it's not really that's with taxes taken out, I guess, for each subscriber. And then when you read my stories, all the other money that Medium is accumulating, some of that goes toward me, and my numbers are just going up, and it's wonderful. And I thank you for those of you who are reading over there and also watching here. There are many things that I still need to purchase here for this to keep working, and I am humbly asking you for your support in that regard. I accept contributions of support from what would be patrons on Venmo at Donald J. Claxton, and on paypal.me/Donald J. Claxton. If you'd be so kind to drop 5, 10, 25, 50, 100, I will make sure to recognize you in future videos, saying thank you for what you've done, like I've already done several times here in this little short clip for Mrs. Smith and our boy. And I've also called out my neighbor Janet for helping me get my stuff loaded and get me on the road to come here. I've heard from several of my friends from Dallas, Montgomery, and other parts of the country. And I want to say thank you. I miss you guys. I'm doing great. Please send messages to my mom and tell her I'm not going to get pneumonia out here and I'm doing fine. and this is working out. I'm the happiest I think I've ever been, or I've been. Chandler told me today I sound the happiest that she's heard me in more than a decade. So I'm having a great time. I'm trying to share it with you, the things I'm learning, things to do and not to do. And yeah, so I'm going to shut up now because it's at 20, almost 21 minutes. And that's getting to be in that territory where it's taken hours and days and months and years for YouTube to process a darn video uploaded via 5G. So who knows? Thank you for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow in tomorrow's post. Bye.